I hope you're as excited and passionate as I am about the possibilities ahead for your life. I also hope you've taken time for yourself to think through some of the changes to make your life even better. As you know, it will take focus and work into creating the future you want. You need to be clear on what you want for your life. You need to know what you want to change, and you need to have a plan of action to accomplish your goals. I'm Marielle Gauthier, a certified executive and life coach. And welcome to the third video in my VIP Power Up Your Life video series. As I said in my first video, I want you to love your life, all of it. The first video invited you to think about your life and whether you were truly happy with it, whether you had achieved the goals that you had set out for yourself, or whether you were still trying to figure out what those goals should be. The Wheel of Life helped you to examine where you are in life, and I asked you to commit to one small action. I hope that you see how your life can improve with even a small change. I also hope I've managed to give you a taste of how coaching could springboard you onto a new path. I want to remind you that you are a VIP. You are the most important person in your own life. Taking the time to elevate your life, to overcome your fears, and to fulfill your dreams will have a positive impact on you and on everyone around you. Remember, you are worth it. In the second video, I gave you an exercise to gain clarity about the vision for your life and how you might accomplish your best potential. I provided a short case study about a client who discovered how one phrase had such a strong impact on her that it transformed her challenge into motivation and made her determined to move forward. Again, I remind you that spending time on yourself in this way is an investment in every sense of the word. You're worth it, and those around you also deserve the best you, the happiest you possible. Making this investment means making changes in what you are doing now so that you can springboard yourself to a better life. I know that change isn't easy. In fact, it can be downright difficult and even scary. We're wired to do the same things we've always done in the same way that we have always done them. Just as we often take the same route to work or to a friend's house, we become comfortable with our own pathways and repeat them again and again. But have you ever hit a detour and have been forced to go another way? Sometimes you will struggle to find your destination. You will become frustrated and you will need to try again. But sometimes that new path will surprise you and you will discover hidden treasures and pleasures along the way. Look again at what you've done so far since the first video. If you have made some changes, however small, congratulations. If you're still struggling and putting off that change, ask yourself, what might you do differently to shake off that reluctance? Ask yourself, do you fear change, or is it the fear of failure that really is scaring you? And what if you do make a mistake or fail in trying something new? There are very few people who have never made a wrong turn. Often you learn more about yourself by making mistakes than by following the same old ways. I personally know this as I learn from my mistakes all the time. Besides, who says that you can't just try again? Change is not always comfortable, and some of us are afraid of change. We all react to change differently. Some embrace it and others resist change. So now I want to talk about what change is and the difference between change and transition. I also want to talk about your brain on change, what is going on in the brain when faced with a change event, to help you understand why you might be resistant to change. I will also give you a tool to help support your brain get past resistance. I want you to think about change as an event or a situation that occurs and it is external to us. It is a moment in time. It happens very quickly. Change events falls into two groups, voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary is you choose the change. You go back to school, you get married, you quit a job, or you start a new job. You change careers, start a new business. Maybe you have a baby, move to a different house, a different city, or start a new relationship. Involuntary, this is when the change chooses you. There's a change in your health. There's a death of a loved one. You're laid off. You're relocated as part of the job. You get a promotion, a divorce, a new boss, new policy or procedures at work, or new team roles. In order for the change to be successful, a transition needs to happen. And a transition is the mental adjustment that happens inside us as we accept and adapt to the change. It is that time between doing things the way you've always done them and the time when you start doing something differently. According to William Bridges, author of Managing Transition, transition has 3 phases: ending, neutral, and new beginning. The ending phase, this is the ending that you will have to make to leave the old situation behind. You need to let go of that old reality before the change can take place. Think of it as a trapeze, where you're on the edge of the platform with the trapeze bar in your hand and you're about to step off from that very, very safe ledge. The neutral phase, this is what comes after the letting go. This is the limbo between the old reality and the new reality, between the old sense of identity and the new. New habits begin to take shape here. Back to the trapeze, this is when you're hanging on to both trapeze bars. And the new beginning phase, this is a time to move forward, to try new things and take risks. This is when you're open to learning and you have a renewed commitment. You have now let go of that trapeze bar from where you came and you're heading onto the new platform, your new reality. So why is change so hard? What is going on in the brain? One of the brain's goals is to minimize threat or negative emotions and to maximize reward or positive emotions, with a very strong desire to avoid threat at all costs. The brain's amygdala, also known as our lizard brain, which is part of our limbic system, our survival mechanism, our fight, flight, or freeze. It scans every situation and everyone we come into contact with to identify any potential threats. Your brain steers away from what it perceives as threatening and moves toward what it perceives as potentially rewarding. When our brain perceives a threat, the amygdala signals a stress response that includes the release of a stress hormone called cortisol. We become emotionally charged and our brain generates emotions such as anxiety and fear. This was very useful in human prehistory when we were faced with real danger, such as when we had to fight or flee to avoid being killed by predators. And certainly is useful today when we face real emergencies such as fires, disasters, avoiding car accidents. Based on neuro research, however, scientists have discovered that our limbic system uses similar brain circuitry for interacting with our social world. According to Dr. David Rock, coach and author of Your Brain at Work, he states that there are 5 social situations that drive human behavior and that our brain is constantly monitoring. Our perceptions of certainty, fairness, autonomy, how we relate to others, and our perception of our relative importance to others. When our brain is in a negatively emotionally charged state, our learning brain is switched off and we proceed on automatic pilot, reverting back to our hardwired thinking, feeling, and behaving, which reduces our capacity to process and store information. This means that our level of understanding, our level of decision making, memorizing, recalling, and inhibiting are all affected. In other words, we're not doing our best thinking. So any type of change, big or small, can create perceived threat. No wonder some of us don't want change. One thing you can do to minimize threat and help your brain continue to do its best thinking is to use labeling. Labeling is finding the right word to identify an emotional sensation you're having. This action will activate the part of the brain that dampens down the limbic system, decreasing your feelings of anxiety and fear, and increase your ability to think better. I want to support you in taking that first step in your transition and help you make new personal discoveries and develop a new confidence. I want to be with you as you make that breakthrough that will springboard you onto the path to building new habits and make your vision become a reality. In a few days, I will be officially launching my VIP Power Up Your Life personal retreat. This is your opportunity to begin to create your extraordinary life more quickly and more easily than you ever thought possible. This program will give you a chance to get your feet wet without taking a huge chunk of your time. And if you make the commitment to do the work, it will set you on a path that could just change your life. For more information and to register for the VIP retreat, please go to redworkscoaching.com. Remember, this is your exclusive and personal retreat, as it will be specifically tailored to your needs and you will work one-on-one with me. I would love to hear from you, so please leave me your comments on what stood out for you today. How will this information make an impact in your life? What will you start doing? And how will your life change knowing this information? I'm Marielle Gauthier with Redworks Coaching. Thanks for watching and have fun creating your extraordinary life.